Everyone, welcome to the show. So we have a second guilty plea in the Solomon Pena case. For anyone who's not familiar with this case, Solomon Pena is a failed New Mexico congressional candidate, a state candidate. He is also a huge Donald Trump fan. No shock. Pena ran in the 2022 midterms for a seat in the state house that was in the 14th district in New Mexico, and he lost bigly, as Donald Trump would say. Lost by many, many percentage points. He knows it and I know it, okay? You know it and I know it. As with all MAGA candidates, though, Pena threw a tantrum and he said that the election was rigged. So on the night of the election, Pena tweeted, quote, "I dissent. I am the MAGA king." That and 50 cents won't get you a piece of gum today. Anyway, after failing to change the mind of election officials, Pena decided, I'm going to shoot up their homes. Yeah, that's what I'll do. That makes sense in the MAGA mind. So he's accused of doing some of these shootings himself, but he also hired several other men to help him out. So this is the second one to plead guilty. His name is Demetrio Trujillo. He now admits to carrying out 3 of these drive-by shootings at the homes of various election officials, one congressional candidate. And Trujillo told the authorities that Pena paid him to commit these crimes for the purpose of intimidating these officials. So he confirmed that he personally carried out the shooting on December 4th and December 8th, and then Pena joined Trujillo in another shooting that took place on January 3rd. So Pena directly shot up this house with Trujillo. And that January 3rd shooting, you might remember, that was at the home of Senator Linda Lopez. She's a state senator. And one of the bullets, or maybe even more, I don't recall, but I know at least one of the bullets entered her home right above her 10-year-old daughter's bed as she was sleeping. So the little girl woke up and she went and told her mom, I think there was a spider crawling on me, because she felt the dust from the drywall fall on her face from the bullet. So a little bit lower, these people would be facing murder charges for murdering a child. So Pena was arrested in January of 2023, and his trial starts in June of this year. Demetrio Trujillo was indicted several months later in May, and now he has pleaded guilty to conspiracy, 2 counts of interference with federally protected activity, using a firearm during a crime of violence, and using and discharging a firearm during a crime of violence. So Trujillo faces up to life in prison, which is likely why he took a plea deal. His son, Jose, you might recall, I just recently had shared with you guys, he was the first one to take a plea. On January 8th of this year, Jose had pleaded guilty to conspiracy, interference with federally protected activities, using a firearm during a crime of violence, discharging a firearm during a crime of violence, and possession with intent to distribute fentanyl. So as with his father, Jose Trujillo also faces life in prison. And so they're each going to be required to testify against Pena. And I will be shocked if Pena doesn't spend decades in prison. He already has quite a criminal history, as I've mentioned in the past. For more than a year, Pena and some of his friends were stealing cars, and then they would drive these cars into the front of a store, like big box stores at night, and they would steal a bunch of expensive items. One store manager said Pena and his friends stole about a dozen Xboxes. They got up to 10 PlayStation portables and then around 80 Xbox games. So as with the current case, Pena's co-conspirators took plea deals, but he opted for a jury trial. Didn't go so great for Pena. He was convicted in that case on 15 counts. He was sentenced to prison for many years, and needless to say, he was at the Capitol on January 6th. Although there's no evidence that he entered the building, so he hasn't been arrested or charged with any crimes for that day, but, you know, this guy is all in. And he clearly has issues. He clearly has a sense of entitlement. So no wonder he's attracted to Trump, right? No wonder he is a part of the current Retrumplican party. I mean, that's like a prerequisite to be full of yourself, delusional, violent, a spoiled brat who refuses to accept results of an election, sense of entitlement. I mean, check. I mean, he checks off every box. So there you go. I will definitely keep an eye on this case, and I will absolutely let you know what happens with his trial. So thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if you possibly can. Links are below in the description box on YouTube and the podcast. Love you guys. Take care. Talk with you soon.